Hi guys, it is me, Laser Puppy Gamer. We're gonna be reacting to IMR Scary Tales of True Movie Theater Scary Story. This is a new one and I haven't seen it yet. I'm a big fan of IMR Scary Tales. But anyways, let's get into it.
Subscribe to IMR Scary Tales and watch spine-chilling horror stories almost every day. And don't forget to click on the bell icon.
True.
My name is Alice, and this story happened a month ago. I work at a movie theater in my local town where I work late evenings and some late nights. It's quite a small theater where you buy everything at one counter, like food, tickets, and that sort of thing, because it was never busy. It was a Friday night around 10:30 p.m. There were only a few movies left to see, and as usual, it was pretty dead at this time. It was just me and another staff member, but they were in the screens cleaning up. I was leaning with my back against the counter scrolling through Twitter when I thought I heard something behind me. I turned around to see a man standing there watching me. I startled and let out a slight laugh, saying, "Oh, you made me jump." The man gave no response and continued watching me. He was wearing a red hoodie, blue jeans, had black stubble, and was wearing a Boston Red Sox hat. My smile started to fade as I said, "How can I help you?" "One ticket to Annabelle and a medium hot dog, please." I went to get him his hot dog. As I was waiting, I could just feel him staring at me. I took a quick glance to check, and yeah, he was watching me still, with that dead expression. First, I was just feeling awkward. Now I was feeling uncomfortable. I gave the man his hot dog and ticket. He looked at me with a confused face. "Can I help you with anything else, sir?" He replied saying, "I thought I said I wanted onions." Certain he never asked, but I said, "Oh, sorry, give me a second." I went to put onions on the man's hot dog, but when I turned around, he was gone. I scanned the seating area. I couldn't see him anywhere. In fact, I didn't see him for the rest of the night. The next day I went into work and my boss, Natalie, who was also a good friend of mine, said she needed to show me something in the security room. She showed me footage of last night's recordings. I couldn't see anything at first. Nat then asked me, "Do you know that guy?" "What guy?" I replied. She then pointed at a man who was hiding around the corner spying on me. It was the same weirdo from last night. He was just hiding behind the counter watching me. I felt sick knowing the fact I had no idea this man was just watching me for ages. Nat then showed me another clip from the same night. It was when my back was against the counter on the phone. The man stood behind me like I knew, but after watching the security footage, he was stood right behind me watching me for about 10 minutes without saying a word. My boss Nat said to tell her if he comes by again. It's been a month and I haven't seen him around. Yet.
Okay, well, since that was very short, guys, I think we should watch another. Don't you think? True online dating scary story. 4 minutes. Let's get into it. Roblox 8. Wait, what? That's cool.
Subscribe to IMR Scary Tales and watch spine-chilling horror stories almost every day. And don't forget to click on the bell icon.
And click the bell icon.
My older sister Jen is 5 years older than me, and the story also happened 5 years ago. Before Jen was dating her current boyfriend, she was on Tinder to meet a few guys. I remember the night specifically. She told me and our other sister Maria that she was meeting a guy at a bar a few blocks down. When she got there, she sat at the bar and texted the guy to let him know where she was sitting. Under a minute passed, and a man sat down next to her, offering to buy her a drink. This man was significantly older than my sister, and according to her, gave off a horrible smell. He had bad breath and crooked front teeth. She told him no thank you, right away, as she had a guy coming to meet her. The man didn't get up just yet. He kept sitting there. He said he would buy her a drink in the meantime before her date got there. Jen felt very uncomfortable and asked the man to please leave her alone. The man got up from the bar stool, and Jen told us that she did a side glance to see where the man had gone. She said he sat at one of the nearby table booths. Jen texted a date about what had just happened and asked him to please hurry. There wasn't a response, so she sat there for a few minutes. She texted again, "Where are you?" This time the guy responded, "Running late, get a drink or two without me." Now, this was an odd text for a guy to send to a girl that he was meeting. And to make it even worse, the man from before just came to sit back down next to Jen, asking her where a date was and acting all upset that she was still alone. My sister responded to the man once or twice, and then she'd had enough, and she asked him to please leave her alone. Once again, she texted a date one more time, saying, "Sorry, I'm going to leave." As she sent it, the man's phone, which he'd left on the bar, vibrated. My sister immediately put two and two together, and she said she was going to go to the bathroom. She called her sister Maria, asking her what to do. Maria told her to just leave and drive home. I listened in on the conversation. When Jen left the bathroom, the man was no longer anywhere to be seen in the bar, which I'm sure she found to be a relief. She went straight to her car and started driving home. It's a very linear and short path from that bar, and she was home in probably a couple of minutes. When she pulled up in the driveway and started walking to the front door, she noticed another car pull up across the street. It didn't stop directly in front of the house across the street. It stopped one house over. Jen came inside, and from here on, I can tell the story from my own point of view. Maria and I came to greet Jen and asked her what had happened. She went to the window and creased the blinds to look outside. She told us there was a car out there, and she was worried that the man had followed her. But when all three of us looked through the blinds, we didn't see a car out there. So she told us the unsettling story of what had happened at the bar. Maria did a better job at comforting her than I did. It's a girl thing, I guess. I did tell her that if that man ever set foot near her again, I'd kick his ass. Later on, we all went to our rooms and did our own thing. I was playing Far Cry 4 on my computer when I heard the horrible sound of both my sisters screaming. Let me shift back to Jen's perspective for a second. She was on her phone in bed when she got a text from that number. It said, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't see your text until I got to the bar." Jen didn't answer, so he sent a follow-up text saying, "I'm gonna meet you at your house. Which window is yours?" Jen called Maria to come to her room to look at the text. And as they talked for a little bit, figuring out what to do, Jen's window slid open and someone tried pushing their way through the roller shade. That was when both Maria and Jen screamed, causing not only me but our parents from upstairs to come rushing to her room. The man trying to come in gave up before we even made it to the room. Our dad went outside to try and chase after the man, but he was already long gone, probably in his car. Of course, my dad called the cops to get the police report. Jen gave the police the man's cell phone number, and they took records of the text conversation. They said they were going to do what they could in order to trace the number, although it could take a few days. My dad was contacted after the weekend by the local police station, and they asked him to come in to the station. They said they traced the number to be a fake number through some app, and that there was no guarantee that they could trace the EUs back to the specific phone. My dad asked them to do whatever they could. Weeks passed, and we never heard from the police, but we all slowly started to forget about it. You can never really understand people's motives and how they think they can get away with something like climbing into a girl's window.
Okay, guys, see you later. Subscribe, like, and share, and yeah, that's all for Blazer Puppy Gamer. And yeah, bye.